Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, I'll show you how to sew an invisible zipper. Invisible zippers are very versatile. You'll find them, for example, on the back of a skirt, side of a dress, on pants, maybe like a pair of athletic shorts has a little side pocket with the invisible zipper, or joggers. You might find them on the side pockets of a bag. Quite versatile. So to create this sample, you'll need some fabric and of course an invisible zipper. When you purchase them, it will say on the tag that it's an invisible zipper. So in this sample, I'm using about a 7.5-inch invisible zipper, and I'm cutting 2 pieces of fabric approximately 3 inches longer than my zipper and about 5 inches wide. So one thing you want to keep in mind, when you buy your zipper, match the zipper pull to your fabric. Remember, it's invisible, so we want to keep it as invisible as possible. And if you can't find a matching color, one trick you can use is to color the pull with nail polish. After I cut my fabric, I'm going to go ahead and overlock the edges of the seam where I'll be sewing the zipper. You can also, if you don't have an overlock machine, you can use a zigzag stitch. You can use pinking shears. The next thing I'm going to do is press the coils on my zipper flat. And to do that, I'm going to set my iron on a synthetic setting because you don't want to melt the coils. Now, if you have a invisible zipper foot, you don't need to do this. I don't have an invisible zipper foot, so I need to flatten this out. It'll be much easier to sew, and you can sew much closer because we'll need to stitch as close to the coils as possible. And flattening it out like this, you'll see the edges much more clearly, and you'll be able to easily stitch close to those coils. And you want to be careful that you don't have a very high setting on your iron because you don't want to melt them. So I've got mine set on a synthetic. And you may need to press just a little firmly to make sure it flattens out as much as possible. Now I'm going to try to show you. If you look closely, hopefully you guys can see this. You can see the stitch lines next to the coils. So we're going to be using those to stitch this zipper. So now I'm pinning the zipper face down, and my fabric is right side up, and I'm only going to stitch this one side. So we're going to take this to the machine, and again I'm going to try to stitch as close to the zipper as possible, and I'm using a zipper foot. not a invisible zipper foot, just a regular zipper foot. And you may need to really hold the coils down because they try to curl back up. So I'm going to use my fingers to try to keep them down to make sure, and go very slowly so that you don't catch the coils, because if you catch those coils, you won't be able to zip the zipper. And you're only going to zip down as far as you can go to the zipper pull. And then try to backstitch if you can. So if you can see, I tried to stitch pretty close. It's not as close as I'd like, but that's about as close as I could get it. Now I'll pin the other side. And again, you want to face the right side of the zipper to the right side of the fabric. And just make sure as you're pinning it that you're pinning it correctly and it's not the wrong side of the zipper. So the coils are on the opposite edge of where the seam line is. Also, after you pin it, just make sure, double check that after it's pinned that it is pinned correctly and the zipper will open when this is actually finished. It's a little bit trickier pinning the next side. Okay, again, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this side and keep those coils down and go slowly so that you don't catch the coils. Now that I have both sides of the zipper attached to my fabric, I'm going to go ahead and zip the zipper all the way up. Might be just a little bit tricky. I should probably press this, but you should press it. It'll look a little bit neater. Okay, we know this looks good so far, so our last step is going to be, again, a little tricky because we need to make sure we pull the bottom of the zipper out of the way, and we're going to stitch below the end of the zipper, but we want to get as close as we can to where the last stitching line is for the zipper. So I'm going to pin this and then go to the machine and just stitch down right from the bottom of this zipper, but being very, very careful to hold the zipper out of the way so that you don't catch it. And we want to be careful so also it doesn't pucker. When it's finished, it'll be a nice clean finish. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch from the bottom of the last stitch all the way down. And if you notice I'm using that zipper foot, you can switch your zipper foot to your regular foot here. All right, that finishes this part of the sample. I'm going to go ahead and press this out for the final step. I did get a little bit of puckering here, but I'm okay with it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. See you guys in the next video. Ciao.